Hello peoples. So before I begin this video, I just want to make I can't even speak right now. So late. Just wanted to make a quick disclaimer saying that I'm no astrologer, but I've been getting a lot more into astrology, and I just wanted to talk about having a moon in Scorpio. Having a moon in Scorpio is something that I can relate to because I have a moon in Scorpio. So I thought, who better to talk about a moon in Scorpio than somebody who actually feels the emotions and the depth and the just all of the feelings that correlate, or the intensity that correlates with having a moon in Scorpio. So, this is for all the people out there that has a moon in Scorpio and you struggle with it. Now, I'm still very new to astrology, and I'm still very much learning about what it actually means to have a moon in Scorpio. I've been researching it a lot, and I've been researching just everything about my natal or my birth chart, my astrological birth chart. So, I just want to talk about having a moon in Scorpio. So, I have a sun in Capricorn, and then I have a moon in Scorpio. And it's funny because, people think that that's such a cynical and sinister mixture of sun and moon, but I don't know. I don't feel like I'm that, I feel like I'm maybe, people always say it's a good combination if maybe you're like a higher, or, you're at a higher level, I guess, of thinking and perceiving or whatever it may be. So I guess maybe I am at that level because I don't really feel like I am like that vicious or that vengeful. I definitely feel like my emotions are deep, but it's definitely a lot deeper when it comes to like love and caring for people, not really like hate and anger. Granted, there are people that I pick up energies off of that I'm just like, no, I won't click with them. But I normally give everybody a chance, and there's nobody that I can truly look at and say I absolutely hate that person. But there are people that I can say that I don't really connect with, you know? I don't know, because when I read a lot of things about Moon and Scorpio, it always says that we either completely hate somebody or we love them. There's no in between. I don't know, maybe there's other things in my chart that makes me able to have an in between with people. I mean, typically it's either to me like you're my full friend or you're not my friend type of thing, or you're fully on my side or you're not. So I guess it is black and white in certain aspects for me, but it's never black and white to the point of like love hate. It's either love or I just don't care. Like it's either love or we're not on any type of level, you know? So, having a moon in Scorpio and the emotions that comes with it. Having a moon in Scorpio is to me a blessing and a curse. Um Honestly, to me, I guess it's more of a blessing just because right now how I view life, because of the things that I have experienced, I view life in a way that I kind of embrace the bad parts and I kind of look forward to them in a way, just because I know that having a moon in Scorpio is a lot about rebirth and renewal and just kind of like evolution and kind of just reinvention of the self in the greatest ways. And in order to have that reinvention and that rebirth and that renewal, you have to go through some traumatic experiences, or just some really intense experiences to come out kind of new. I honestly feel like a moon in Scorpio is the equivalent of, a phoenix. If anybody is familiar with Harry Potter, when I think about Scorpios, I literally think about that one scene in Harry Potter where Harry was in Dumbledore's chambers or his office, and the phoenix literally like burst into flames and then became ashes. And then from the ashes, the phoenix kind of rose back into this beautiful, victorious bird. And that's how I view having a moon in Scorpio. It's kind of like we go through like explosive, crazy things that would kill other people, and otherwise it does kind of kill parts of us, but it has to remove those parts in order for us to kind of grow and become and evolve into this better, more renewed and wiser versions of ourselves. And so for that aspect, I really do appreciate having a moon in Scorpio. The things that I don't truly enjoy would definitely just be the depression and the sadness and stuff like that. Just like the bipolar-esque feelings that comes along with having a moon in Scorpio. It's definitely like you're up and then you're down. But with me, it's kind of like I get that up and down type of feelings all the time, but I don't allow myself to stay there. It's like maybe I'll feel down and I might retreat to my room and kind of stay there for a little while. And it's funny because I've really been studying my behavior lately, just kind of seeing how I really am. And it's like when I do feel tense or I feel out of place, I kind of just retreat to my room and get myself together until I get back to like the real Chanel or the real person that I really am on the inside. Because normally it's funny, when I do have those bouts of like depression or sadness or whatever it is, I always know it's not me, because that's innately like inside I know that I'm normally and naturally just like a happy, fun loving type of person. And when I feel kind of like standoffish, like I don't want to be around people, I always know it's like something out of my control, like, you know, for the most part. Having a moon in Scorpio with the sadness and depression and the anger, whatever you may feel, I mean, that's tough because sometimes you just want to be happy and it just kind of, knocks you off your feet a little bit. Because when you feel sad and depressed, you really feel sad and depressed. Sometimes you'll feel so sad that or depressed, you almost feel like the end is near, like you're dying or something. It gets so intense. But having a moon in Scorpio, you just have to kind of like talk yourself through it, walk yourself through it, and just remind yourself to stay positive and just tell yourself like it's okay, tomorrow will be better, or this is just something little and I'm just gonna let it go and get over it, type of thing. You can't really let whatever is holding you down keep you down. You kind of like, you have to assess it and just be like, okay, yeah, I'm depressed and I'm sad about this certain thing, but I have to get over it and move forth. I feel like my chart is very interesting because it makes me have to wait for a lot of the things that I really want out of life, like love and relationship and kind of family and security. My chart makes me have to wait for a lot of that stuff, and my chart also forces me to be independent. Even though I want to be the person that has a family around me that loves and supports me and that I have that type of that type of bond and security, I don't. My chart makes me kind of have to separate from my family and kind of have to provide for myself and kind of have to be independent, even though I don't necessarily want to be, I mean, I do want to be naturally, I want to provide for myself, but it does it in a way that it's kind of like out of my control. Like I've had to do that from a young age, kind of fend for myself and take care of myself. So, I was gonna say something. I completely lost my train of thought. But yeah. So my chart makes me like have to kind of fend for myself and things of that nature. Gee, I completely lost my train of thought. I completely started thinking about something else. I guess, I have a little bit of Gemini in my chart too, so that kind of makes my mind kind of flutter every now and again. But look, having a moon in Scorpio may seem like a bad thing, but for the right person, especially in this terms of a loving relationship, with the right person, it's a great thing. I mean, it's good for them, maybe not so great for you, because you're forever going to be loyal and faithful to that person, even if they're not necessarily that way to you. And you're just a catch. You're a great catch, honestly. Like, you're good at making love, you're good at being loyal, you're honest, you're truthful, you provide security, you know, you will protect the person. You will damn near die for the person, for the right person that you love. I mean, it's kind of great for the person that you love to have somebody like you. You have to think of yourself like that. You are an absolute catch. I mean, sure, potentially it might lead you to get the short end of the stick because you're so amazing. And also because somebody may not be able to understand the intensity of your emotions and what you feel. But overall, like, the person that gets you is a lucky SOB, lucky freaking bastard, honestly. They are. You just only hope that you can find somebody as intense and loyal and you know, that provides you with that safety that you're looking for. Because, you know, the fact that I have a Capricorn sun, all of that is needed for me. I need somebody that's going to provide me with that security and that understanding, and kind of like pull me out of my shell perhaps, and get my deep dark emotions, and, you know, like my deep love for them or whatever. Having a moon in Scorpio is truly a blessing and slightly a curse, but I try to view it as more of a blessing, because at the end of the day, I know that I transform in some of the most amazing ways ever, and I just became this different being, almost like this more mature, more spiritual, more aware, more empathetic, more understanding type of person. I've definitely, you know, you just kind of see the world through interesting eyes, I guess. And although with I have depression sometimes, I have a very high sense of optimism in a way, because I just have a lot of hope. And that, I feel like that's the way to combat it. You just have to have a lot of hope for the future, and just believe that everything will work out for you. And just keep telling yourself that, even if you don't believe it. Half the time I don't always believe it, but I tell myself that enough to the point that I believe it, you know? It's not great to just be depressed all the time and sad. And especially, you know, having a moon in Scorpio, it makes you want to have love, and that person that you can share that deep, intense love that you feel inside with. And when you don't have, I feel like when Scorpio moon loves somebody, it kind of like takes away some of that depression, because it kind of brings back in that happiness, if you will.